Now from the Independent Community Police Oversight Commission, Dr. Jackson.
Everybody, I'm on mute, aren't I? Hello, everybody. I'm happy to follow John Fournier, who graciously agreed to come brief our commission. But I feel like if they're watching, they just got briefed. So maybe we can save a couple meetings here and there. Good evening. I'm Lisa Jackson, chair of the Independent Community Police Oversight Commission, and I wanted to update you on our status. Last week, as John Fournier mentioned, I'm the negotiating team for the city. Briefed Vice Chair Francis Todoro Hargraves, Stephanie Carter, and myself on the AAPOA police contract and the tentative agreement. He kindly agreed to come brief us. That may be less necessary than we thought it was just a few hours ago. But we're happy that the public gets to hear some of the information that we learned. And we regret that the union did not decide to show us police names. But we are very clear that we do understand the FOIA process, and we are going to continue to work towards transparency and especially accountability. At our August 25th meeting, the commission began to finalize what actions we would take regarding the public safety resolution from council. So we'll be getting back to you with a plan. We're also in the process of reviewing the current trespass processes in the city. And there's been quite a bit of discussion about who calls trespass and how long trespass should be and whom it impacts more than others. So we've been reaching out to many stakeholders. And in that vein, we're continuing to work with the district library and others who use trespass regularly. And the goal is to find an equitable, clear process for the use of trespass throughout the city. We're also engaged in a robust discussion with the police chief and police department regarding the new Ann Arbor Police Department U of M collaboration and the mask enforcement processes. We've also had meetings with U of M faculty, U of M staff, and U of M students regarding their concerns about their partnership. As you can imagine, there are a lot of grave concerns about that. And we consistently follow up with our public forum comments and concerns. And because of Michelle Hughes, we're working with the Ann Arbor Police Department on creating procedures and guidelines for interactions with transgender, intersex, and gender nonconforming people. That kind of guideline and process did not exist. Another resident asked us for data on the percentage of arrests and calls that are related to violent crime. So what percentage of Ann Arbor Police Department calls are actually related to violent crime? How many arrests are made in the commission of those crimes? And then was interested in some information on disparities in the rates at which African Americans were arrested in Ann Arbor versus white residents. That kind of spurred a conversation about producing more data that are current and that are easily accessible to the public, perhaps including a dashboard such as the one that Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department is currently implementing. So we're working on that as well. Several people from the commission developed questions and participated in a series of interviews with city administrator candidates. And on Saturday, I was happy to participate in a forum on organized labor, policing, and the community hosted by the Washtenaw County Democratic Party. It was a very spirited conversation with Chief Cox, Sheriff Clayton, Dr. Ian Robinson from the University of Michigan, and Nora Krenitsky, who's director of the Prison Creative Arts Project at Michigan, and she's a member of U of M's Police Oversight Committee. So it was good to interact with kind of a sister agency in that way. Last, I've started my tenure with the Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards in Lansing. And I have a particular focus on examining training and curriculum and mental health issues. So I know MCOLS has been hit with some pretty serious budget slashes lately, as is happening across the state, but there remains some needs for updating training standards, and it's a really important task to think about. So I'll be working on that. And I'm also focusing on mental health issues. For example, we know that more police officers commit suicide than are killed by civilians every year. And so working on better mental health is critical to police, but it's also critical to the communities in which they serve. So our next meeting will be on Zoom on September 22nd. And if anybody's interested, they can follow us for updates on Twitter at A2IPOC. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.